皆さんこんにちは。てかおはようございます。一夜明けまして
1km 先、プンスイルベーニアアベニューノーサス島左方向。
今会場に向かっているところです。昨日はもうこの辺りは外に出たらもう自分の身に何が起こるかわからないという状況で、もうあとはすぐに避難というか、もうホテルの外から出なかったんですけれども、今日また朝になって明るくなって活動ができるようになっております。で、今もう始まってるんですが、ウォークアウェイというもともと左だった人たちが目覚めて、でみんな一緒に目覚めましょうという呼びかけをしている団体があって、その人たちが DC で集会を開いているので、そちらを皆様にお届けしたいと思いまして今向かっております。ではちょっと運転に集中しますので、ちょっと前をご覧ください。で、道がですねクローズドされてますね。こっち側とかは入れません。こっち側はちょっと見えないか。左の集会っていうか、向こう側って BLM とかアンティファなので、昨日もご覧いただいて分かる通り危なくてですね、ちょっと怖くてなかなか行けません。でもその前は BLM ストリートとかでいろんな方にインタビューすることはできました。今ちょっと選挙のトランプ陣営が、反撃といいますか裁判闘争もしていたりして、で、この支持者の方々もそういう意味では盛り上がってきているので、それでですねちょっと怖い状況になっています。はい。ライトサイドっていうところで見れるんですね。ライトサイドっていうのは私も時々見るんですけど、とても頑張ってる、応援したくなる放送ですね。トランプ大統領の集会なんかでもマスコミ席でもう周りが全部左なんですけど、そんな中で一生懸命トランプ大統領応援とかいろんな解説をやっているところですね。もうすぐ曲がるので、
信号でプンスイルベーニアアベニューノーサス島左方向。このまま中央2車線を走行。
昨日は今見ているこの道が全部トランプ大統領支持者の人でもう埋まっていました。はい、すごかったですね。この8車線が全部埋まっていて、上空からの写真っていうのはトランプ大統領とかその側近の方々がツイッターでシェアしているんですけれども、すっごい人で、もうあれはホワイトハウスなんてキャピタルですね。もう本当にすごいんですよ。上空から撮った写真にも収まりきれないぐらいの人がいたんです。これが今のアメリカ保守国民の、声、力ですね。はい、もうすぐ着きますね。でも全国から集まってるトランプ支持者の方々はもう日曜日かけて、丸1日かけて自分のお家に運転して帰るので、だいぶ帰っている人たちが多いと思います。
その後目的地は左側。
はいありました。 OK, I found it。
到着しました。
到着したんですが、じゃあちょっとこれから駐車しましょう。 今私の左手に見えるのが集会の様子です。今結構集まってますね。まあこれもグラス草の根運動なんですけど、ちょっとこれあっちに曲がってから U ターンができないな。私も一回ですね、一回この集会に別の週の時に行ったんですけど、もう感動っていうか、この保守運動の盛り上がり具合がとても面白くて、すごかったですね。もう何でもお祭りだなっていうのがよく分かりました。はい、じゃこうしとこう。窓開けたら聞こえますかね。音楽が聞こえてきましたね。
信号で松田ドライブノーサスト右方向。
ワンウェイか。これ全部ワンウェイだから、ワンウェイばっかりだからちょっと困るな。大きく U ターンしてきます。安全牌で行きます。あっちから行ってあっちから行けば。アラートが鳴らなかった。あら、なんでですかね。ちょっとそこら辺はテクニカルなのはわからないんですが。右手はアメリカンインディアンのナショナルミュージアムって書いてますね。はい。警察の車があっちこっちに。昨日の夜は警察官が2人、負傷したという報道が出ておりました。20名が逮捕されたみたいですね。動画とかも見たんですけれども、女性がなんか卵とか投げられたりとか、わけのわからんなんか液体水かなんかわからないのをかけられてて、もう泣きながら歩いているのとか、だいぶこの集会が終わって人が少なくなってくるタイミングを見計らって、こういうトランプ支持者の方々を襲ってたみたいです。あれ、これもいけないの。これはあっちにこういったいのか。あっちに止めたいんだよな。あっちに曲がるか。こっちから曲がって U ターンしちゃえばいいのか。こっちの目の前が今キャピタルですね。こっからちょっと U ターンしてあっちに行きましょう。はい、OK。で、昨日1万人以上のデモって1万人じゃ足りないでしょうね。あの数は本当にすごい数でしたよ。出るかな。みんなですね、信号を無視するのが当たり前なんで、ちょっと私も気をつけながら運転してます。通行者の人とかも結構そのまま行ってしまうので。はい、聞こえてきました。 ではじゃあちょっと待ってください。ちょっと今確認してくるので、ちょっとそのまま放置しときます。ちょっと駐車場がちょっと遠くなっちゃうんですけど仕方ない、駐車場までもう一回行って止めます。まっすぐ行っていいか。スクーターに乗ってる人がですね、道から普通に歩くんですよ、ヘルメットしないで。この人は私を見ているのか。はい、前をどうぞ。乗ってるスクーターは私がこの間乗ったスクーターです。これはアプリで管理してて、すごい乗り心地もいい便利な乗り物です。ここら辺に止めてもいいかな。まあいいや、一応ちゃんと止めに行きましょう。警察がですね、あっちこっちで待機しているのがご覧いただけると思います。はい、今何時だ。10時41分か。何時までやってるのかな。間に合えばいいんですけどね。昨日はですね、プラウドボーイズの人たちと話して、なんかすごく仲良くなったんですよ。本当にプラウドボーイズってもうなんか極右とか言われて、みんなから恐れられてるような感じの扱いじゃないですか。そういう方々の口から専業主婦の価値を高めるべきだみたいなのを聞いた時にもう感動しましたね。ここに止めてもいいかな。こっちに止めるか。みんな同じことを考えている。ちょっと歩きますが仕方ないですね。場所を確認してからWhere am I? よし、じゃあ行きます。一人の時はマスクしなくてもいいんだけど、忘れるとめんどくさいことになるので、これを持って、はい、ではじゃあ行きましょう。ちょっとこうしとこう。ちょっと行きます。ちょっと待ってくださいね。逆だ。ですね、今会場の方に今歩いていきます。意外と風は強いんですけど、天気がいいので寒くないですよ。 BLM って書いてる。よし、はい、じゃあ今から向かいます。集会やってますよ。今聞こえてきますか？声が聞こえてきます。前にしましょうね。賑やかな声が聞こえてきます。この声を聞いてたくさんの人たちがなんか集まってきてるような気がしますね。ここから行ってもいいのかな。はい。で、なんかなんて言うんですか、何を言おうとしたっけ。油断はしてはいけないんですけど、一応は今の周りの感じは普通に観光客も歩いていて、なんか武装して襲ってきそうな人とかそういう人はいないですね。はい。てかマスク一人だからいいや。ちょっと前を見せます。はい、前の人たちも多分この集会の声を聞いて集まってきてるんだろうと思います。はい、聞こえてきました。ウォークアウェイ、ウォークは歩く、アウェイは離れていくなんですけど、何から離れていくのかっていうと、自分たちを 利用していた、あるいは騙していた左翼の人たち、民主党とかそういった人たちはかわいそうだとかなんとかかんとか言うんだけれども、でも僕たちは利用されてるだけで結局僕たちのために何もしてくれないんだやつらはと、目覚めなければいけないと、そういうふうなメッセージを代表者のブランドン・ストラーカさんは言っていて、その方自身はゲイの方で、2016年は、民主党側に投票してトランプ大統領が当選したのを発表された時に自分の発信の中で涙を流して泣いていたぐらいの人なんですよ。でもその後に自分は目覚めたと、ある動画を見て、あれトランプ大統領の人間性がおかしいというのはマスコミが作り出しているものじゃないかっていうふうに気づいたというふうに言ってました。はい、ではじゃあ近づいてきたので、前をご覧ください。
You guys, everybody has that friend. I know we all have that friend on Instagram who's like photoshopping her pictures, sucking in, like cropping everything, putting on the filter, and you look at the picture and you say, honey, that is not what you look like. That is not what you look like. That's kind of what it's like right now when we call Joe Biden the president. Sweetie, you can call yourself the president on social media, but you're not the president. That's not how that works. So let's be really clear about that. And I just want to say, too, one of the reasons why this is so important to me, besides the fact that clearly I love President Trump, and clearly, do you guys? That was a yes, right? That was a yeah? Okay. Obviously, I love President Trump, and obviously, I love America, and that's what.
We love Trump. We love Trump.
Are you listening, President Trump?
We love Trump. 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 We love Trump.
They love you, President Trump. They love you. The people love you, and we're not going to give up on you. You've been fighting up for us for 4 years. President Trump taught us how to fight. We saw a fighter for the first time in the office. He brought out the fighter in all of us. They can't ever put that back in the box. The beast has been unleashed. We're not going to back down. Release the Kraken! You guys, I was in the middle of a story. All right, so I was saying that this election is important to me for many reasons, or what's the situation that we're currently in is important to me for many reasons. First of all, I love Trump. I know you do too. And second of all, I love America. But third of all, I love, and it has been a great passion, and it has been a great privilege for me the last couple of years to travel this country and make it a mission to open the minds of minority groups, young people, Black Americans, brown Americans, LGBT Americans, college-age Americans, and get them to walk away from the Democratic Party. Walk away! 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 Now, some of you have probably heard me say before that hell hath no fury like a gay man scorned by the Democrat Party.
今ですね、代表者が話してい
They
て、
have
ちょ
really
っと
pissed me off this time. Like, really, really. Because I'll tell you something. I was pissed enough in 2018 when I started Walk Away. Imagine how pissed I am now that we know it
2018
worked.
この運
And
動を
they're
始め
trying
て
to
自
steal
分は
these votes
まあ
from the
か
Black
なり怒
Americans,
った
brown
怒ったと
Americans,
いろんなこと
LGBT
が起きた
Americans,
と
Jewish Americans, young Americans who made the choice to walk away from the Democratic Party and come to our side. And by the way, at Walk Away, we love everybody. We love straight white people. We love everyone. But let's just point out the truth. Congratulations, Democrats, on becoming the party of straight white people. Congratulations. Joe
本来
Biden
人権を訴
resonated
えている
with
人たちが
exactly
白
one
人の差
demographic,
別主義者
which
たちの
was
集まりだと彼ら
elderly
の方
white
が
men, which we
マイ
love.
ノ
We
リティ
love
の
you
人たちを
guys.
彼らは差別している
We
んだという
do. I
話を
really,
し
I
てい
don't.
ます
That's no diss. I'm just saying. For the party that loves to tell people they're the party of inclusion, diversity, and tolerance, and that you're the racists, and that you're the bigots, and that you're the homophobes. Are you kidding me? Because we're getting all the black people and the brown people, the LGBT people on our side.
多様性を訴える民主党の方が
You
差別
guys are
的
the ones
で
supporting the
僕たちの
90-year-old
サイド
dementia
にいろん
patient.
な人種の人たちが仲間していると
Meanwhile, we're here having a party.
パーティーだ
So this is why I'm pissed. Because all of the hard work that we have done for years now, trying to liberate people, open their minds, and get people to walk away, I will not stand quietly by and allow them to steal the votes and the voices of Americans who went out for the first time bravely and courageously and cast that vote for the first time for somebody who was not a Democrat. Not a Democrat. I want to thank all of you for coming out today. This was supposed to be a brief opening comments. Apparently, I had a little more on my chest than I realized today. I'll be back at the end to make some closing comments as well, but we have amazing speakers today. We have CJ Pearson here today. We have Shamika Michelle here today. Mikey Harlow, Carlin Borisico, and so many more. Scott Pressler is here. Many more, and they have a lot to say to you as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for coming out today. Enjoy the walkaway rally. We are not going to be quiet. We're not going to stop fighting for America. So get used to it, Democrats, because this is the new, out, loud, and proud, inclusive Republican Party. And with that, I'll turn it over to Big Nick, who probably has a disclaimer to make.
この僕たちの反
Thank you,
撃
ladies and
反撃に民主党のみんななれろと準備しろとブランドン・ストラーカさんの今のお話でした代表者の方です
And he was right. All right. So before we get started, so we originally were supposed to stop in Atlanta, but then this shit election happened. So
You're not kidding.
all right, I'm Nick Miles. I work for the Walkaway campaign.
この方は事務方の人なんですけどいつも今の言ってること同じものを読み上げるんですよで僕たちはあくまでも中立で特別な候補を応援しているものではありませんと一応は言っていてそれをみんなが笑っているところです
1776 Forever Free, Dr. Courtney Williams.
It's always weird hugging Nick because I'm like 5 foot
今からですねいろんな方々が出てきて自分のウォークアウェイの経験をお話しします
like breastfeeding. You know what I mean? It's really weird if you're a short guy. But as Nick said, I'm a former Marine. I'm a father of two. I'm a lifetime patriot. And you know, anytime I'm associated with this movement, it's an honor. Because as you guys know, Brandon is what he's created and who he is as a human being. Are just incredible. I mean, thank God for people like Brandon. Can I get a round of applause for Brandon? Everything he's doing, like amazing. So, in my journey, I got to speak in Sacramento and in Dallas with the Walkaway campaign, and I gotta say, it's so nice to know that there are Americans like all of us that are sick and tired of being sick and tired with the direction this country's going.
今の国がもう行こうとしている場所と行こうとしているダイレクションというの方向というのはもう大変なところでみんなもう嫌がってるでしょう
God bless you guys. God bless you guys. Thank you for what you do. Well, you guys are in for such a treat today because the speakers that we have are just going to bless you. I encourage you, follow all of them on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. All of them have a huge following. All of them are first class. And I'm proud to say that I'm friends with 99% of the ones that I know for sure. And I can't wait to become friends with the ones that I don't know. But this next speaker is an amazing friend of mine. I met her about 3 months ago now. And when I was reading up on her, like right after I met her, I was blown away at how quickly she just blew up. And what she did for this country. She went to a Trump rally right? She was like many of you out there that thought, believed the lies of the fake news media and the Frodos and the Don Lemons and all that, right? And you just didn't know what you didn't know. And then she goes to a Trump rally and she sees how there's people that are united, and it doesn't matter who they sleep with at night. It doesn't matter what color their skin is, and it sure as heck doesn't matter what God they worship. And so she wrote this letter. The letter goes viral, and come to find out, the lady wrote it in like 20 minutes. She wrote it in like 20 minutes. If I write anything in 20 minutes, it looks like my 2-year-old wrote it, right? Can I get an amen to that? And so this doctor who has like 500 degrees, she's got an MBA, she's kicking butt, she's all over the place, Twitter, YouTube, you name it, huge following. And I could go on for another 5 minutes, but I won't. I want to introduce my good friend, Dr. Karlin Bursenko.
今マイクを渡される女性というのはお医者さんなんですけど、この方が目覚めて自分の意思を示したときに、もう去年まで自分は左でしたと。私がこんなところに来るとは思ってもみなかったことですと。20年間民主党でしたと。
Except for Bernie Sanders, of course, up until this past election. And I tell you guys, when I went to my town hall and I casted my absentee ballot early, because we don't do mail-in voting in New Hampshire, we do absentee ballot in person where they actually have to look at my ID.
ニューハンプシャーは ID も見せなければいけないし、郵送票というのはやらないそうです。で、今回トランプ大統領に投票したことがもう一番幸せなことでしたと。民主党がもう完全におかしなところに行ってたから、こういうふうなことを、こういう今やってることをするようになりましたと。
Anyone that doesn't disagree with their hard left line, that's the point where you have to say, no, honey, you have lost your privileges. I don't care that the right's not perfect, you're insane.
Yeah, totally.
And so I voted early because I hung out with the walkway store on election night with Brandon watching all the reports come in, and we were so excited at the beginning of the night, and we went to bed so confident, and we wake up the next morning, we're like, what the hell happened? What happened? Well, what happened is about 4 a.m. Hundreds of thousands of
11月3日の夜の話をしていて、夜中に急にもうジョー・バイデン氏だけの票がごっそり出てきて選挙がひっくり返ったのはおかしいと。これはもう恥だと。
I don't know what they're smoking, but it's some pretty strong shit, I'll tell you what. So I gotta tell you guys, I've been doing these Walkaway Rescue America rallies for months. We have been all over the place. I even got chased by Black Lives Matter in Dallas. Some of you guys may have seen that.
BLM に自分は追っかけられたこともありますと。
The right over and over and over again to come out and show up and be brave and speak up, and sometimes do, and sometimes you don't. I'm gonna be honest. And most of the time when they didn't, what they would say is, well, Karlin, we vote. That is how we make our voice heard. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we now know that is not enough.
Yeah, very cool.
You know, there are a lot of people like me that are making our way over to the Republican Party. I'm actually planning on registering as a Republican pretty soon. I feel a little dirty, but it's going to be okay. And one of the benefits you're going to have with people like me in the Republican Party is we don't shut up. We show up. We do these rallies. We know that you have to speak up and you have to be brave because that is the only way we make change. How many were here yesterday for that amazing march?
昨日の集会に皆さん参加しましたが素晴らしかったですよね。
6 months ago with the Republican Party, that's crazy. It was a wonderful day. And then we saw last night exactly what happens when the left doesn't get their way and when you don't agree with them.
That's right.
And And the message I want to send is like, guys, literally, I've been chased by Black Lives Matter. You have to stand up to these people and tell them no. And what I was so proud of is so many amazing patriots last night that did just that. So I've always been a sucker for an underdog. I have. And I kind of view Trump supporters as the ultimate underdogs. And, recently, I'm sure many of you heard this speech, but I'm still new to all this, so I just heard it for the first time. Trump gave a speech at Liberty University in 2017 where he said, embrace the title of the outsider. Being an outsider is fine. Embrace that title because the outsiders are the people who change the world. Trump supporters are the ultimate outsiders. They are the counterculture. They are, dare I say, the new punk rock. And what I loved about yesterday so much was so many people showed up and they told the media right where to stick it. Because the media does not call elections in this country. And every single one of you need to take advantage of that God-given First Amendment we are so lucky to have and speak up and make your voice heard, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. Because that's what outsiders do, folks. We don't take no for an answer. We don't listen to the media when they say, why don't you just shut up and go home and accept that Joe Biden is president? We say no. We're going to see this through to the very end. One of the things I said to the walkway crew on the day after Election Day is I looked at them and I said, we have done everything we can to fight this. But apparently, we all have to give just a little bit more.
Yes, I agree.
We need to keep showing up every day. This is going to make its way through the courts. This is obviously going to end up in Supreme Court. And our job is to keep the faith and keep showing up and speaking up and not letting the media tell us
メディアの
to
言うこ
shut
とを
up.
聞いてこの選挙の結果を受け入れるというのはおかしい話で絶対にそんなことはしないんだと。
I know that so many of you have friends and family with Trump derangement syndrome. I know it has strained so many of your relationships. I know they're probably taking a real beating right now when they're telling you, well, just accept the president. And here's the thing. What I want you to know emphatically is don't give up on them. Don't. Because we don't know
あ
how
な
this
た
is
の
going to turn
両
out. We
親
don't know
が
who's going to get inaugurated
こ
in
の
January.
結果を受け入れなさいとかいうような、そういう病気を持っている人がいたとしてもみんな頑張って戦いなさいと。
pills handed out over the next 4 years, and it is going to wake the Democratic Party up in a way that they haven't anticipated. And when that happens, you all need to be there for them. I remember how jarring it was when I woke up and I realized how much I had been lied to my entire life. I am still uncovering the amount of ways that I have been lied to by the media.
私たちはもうたくさんの嘘をつかれすぎてもう大変だったと。
Say, honey, it's going to be okay. Do not become what the left has become.
左が落ちてしまったような形に自分たちはなってはいけないと、目覚めなければいけないと。
And then suddenly one day have an experience where you wake up and you see the truth. It can happen to everyone. You're planting the seeds every single time you have a conversation, every single time you open your home to your friends and your family, every single time you say, I love you no matter who you voted for. You are planting that seed for those relationships to be rebuilt. Don't underestimate the impact of that. All right, guys, I can see we've got some fighters here. You got a lot of great speakers to listen to. Thank you for coming out.
All right, give it up for Dr. Carlin one more time. So awesome, right? How many outsiders do I have in the audience? They're going everywhere. You're like, we're just trying to get we just want a, what do you call this, a bracelet. But how many outsiders do I have?
Right here.
Amen, right? Because outsiders are going to move the needle from the inside. That's how we do it. We do it from the inside. We do it peacefully. All those things you saw this morning of people being accosted,
ブレスレットを配ってました。
That's not us. We show up differently, right?
I got two friends. You got any more?
If you guys haven't seen it yet, make sure you see in Dallas Dr. Carlin's Fox and Friends interview she did the following day. Like epic and awesome. Make sure you go and see that. Well, God bless her. The next person that we have coming up, I'm blown away. Like when I was young, I didn't get into politics. I didn't know anything about it. You know, I was like my 4-year-old. I just loved everything Trumpy, and I just kind of listened to my parents and whatever. But what's not to love about Trumpy? I mean, you know. But this guy, I think he was blogging at like 8. The guy's just like a firestorm, man. He's killing it. The guy's completely crushing it. He's created an organization called the Free Thinker, and he was just nominated as the youngest individual to be nominated to the Electoral College. The youngest individual.
最年少の選挙人として選ばれた方をご紹介したいと思います。
CJ Pearson.
ピアソンという方で若い頃から、ずっと活動してたブロガーです。8歳ぐらいからやってたと言ってました。ガッドブレスアメリカというのは DC でみんな人が言うのは怖がるかもしれないけど自分たちは言えるよと。同じような考えを持っている人たちが国中にあっちこっちにいて仲間がいっぱいいるんだよと。僕たちのことを無視できるかもしれないけれども、でもそれは違うでしょう。それは真実ではない。今日のオーディエンスの人たちぐらいの人数をバイデン氏の集会で集まったことないでしょうと。
Donald Trump would be winning. He'd be winning in Georgia, winning in Pennsylvania, winning in Wisconsin. But when we would wake up that next morning, somehow, some way, they would find the votes.
11月3日の夜、朝起きた時に選挙がひっくり返ってて。
It's insulting because they think we're that stupid. But what they don't realize is that we're not rolling over anymore. We're not rolling over.
でも自分たちはおとなしくしていない。彼らは分かってない。
This is no longer the party of John McCain. This is the party of Donald J. Trump. This is the party of
僕たちはトランプ大統領を支持するパーティー集会なんだと。我々はおとなしく座っているようなものではない。
We will not allow the integrity of our elections, of our republic, to be undermined, stolen, and taken away.
絶対に不正選挙は許さない。もう絶対許さないと。ならげもう二度とそんなことはさせない。アメリカは自由というアイデア考えで作られた国なんだと。ここにいる愛国者の我々はそんなことを絶対に許さない。
I refuse to lose this country to the AOCs of the world. I refuse to lose this country to the Nancy Pelosi's of the world. I refuse to allow our nation to be overrun, downtrodden, open borders and lawlessness. Not in my America.
僕のアメリカでは国境をなくすとか社会主義を許すとか共産主義を許すとかそんなことはここでは絶対に起こさせない。僕は言う、もうこれ以上だ、もうやらさん。
And I am not going to apologize for that. I'm going to be proud of that. As should you.
僕は
As should you.
保守になることを謝る、自分の考えに関して謝ることなく、これを誇りに思っていると。
We are at a time that Reagan once remarked as and referred to as a time of choosing. Will we must decide what type of nation will we be? Will we be a nation of lawlessness and socialism, or will we be a nation of law and order? A nation where the American people are put first, where America is put first. We're not bowing to the globalist powers of the world
グローバリストなんかにやられない。
but we are making decisions that work for each
中
and
国なん
every
か
one
に
of
やられない。
you. But we're not bowing down to the elites. We're tackling the elites. We're going against them, and we're deliver
エ
for
リ
the
ートに
American
立ち
people
向かうんだ。
each and every day. And the fight
毎
continues.
日
The marathon
戦いは続く、
continues.
マラソンは
It is
続
only
く。
getting started. For example,
始まっ
in
たばかり
Atlanta,
だ。
we have, in Georgia, we have 2 Senate seats up for grabs right now, which are going to decide whether or not we retain the GOP majority. We're going to be active there. Next Saturday, we're going to have a big rally in Atlanta at the Capitol, showing them that all eyes are on Georgia, and we're not letting them steal that election.
彼らに、選挙を盗まれないと。
The movement lives on. Do not allow the media to take away your enthusiasm, to take away your passion.
メディアによって戦力をそがれてはいけない。このテンションを続けるんだと。
I cast the first vote of my life last week for this president.
僕は今回初めての選挙だったんだけど、トランプ大統領に投票しました。
My electoral vote for Donald Trump as well.
選挙人として自分はトランプ大統領に12月に投票しますと。この方は選挙人なので大事
God
な
bless you. God bless America.
神のご加護がありますように、神のご加護がアメリカにありますようにと。ありがとうと。すごいですね。こんなに若い子が選挙人としてみんなの代表としてトランプ大統領に投票すると。またこの集会は中立的な集会ですというまたお決まりの。
Awesome, awesome. Well, you know,
So funny.
always blown away at people that start early. I mean, this guy's probably going to be president someday. Can I get an amen?
この男性はいつか我々の国の大統領になるでしょう。
Coming up is probably one of the funniest guys I know. And
次の人は一番面白い男でしょう。
We bonded over a tasty. And I feel like in the conservative movement, he's really brought up the humor of delivering a message that's sometimes really difficult. His platforms are huge, just like his heart. My good friend, Mike Harlow.
マイクからマイキーだマイキーこの私超いい子超いい子。
Thanks, Cordy. I'm still waiting for him to propose gay marriage to me. Hey, fam, how are you guys? It's great to be here today. I'm lying, it's
ここに
not. No, it's great to be with you guys, but
こ
like,
こにいることは嬉しい。あ、嘘ついちゃった。予想じゃない。
very good about keeping spirits high. Yeah, let's go. This is a place of honesty. I'm just gonna own it. I have felt miserable with this shit.
今起きてることはもう最悪だと。僕は違ってるかい。い
You know,
や
I
みんな
think
が
we
当た
can
って
be
るよ
honest
と。
about that, but what's important is that we channel our despair into standing up and doing good things, because right now we are seeing the abyss and there's nowhere to go but up. We are seeing right now, every one of us are basically like friggin' Miss Cleo right now, seeing into the future and seeing what living in a communist country will be like.
僕たちは自分たちの国が共産党になってしまいかねない現状を見ていると。
Every place is boarded up and the government can tell you everything from who you
今は
can
ここ
speak
で
to what opinions you can have, who you can vote for, to how many people you can have over your apartment for Sunday dinner.
日曜日の夕食に何人集まることができるとか、誰々と会うことができるとか、そんな細かいことをいちいち全部言われなければいけない共産主義国のような状況になってしまってる。僕は専門家ではないんだけど自分の考えを言います。
I've been watching elections my whole life. I've never seen an election where every state simultaneously just decides to stop counting at 10 o'clock at night.
夜の10時、11月3日の10時になぜか全ての州がいきなり集計を止めたのはおかしかった。で、ジョー・バイデンが必要だった州でその必要な州の数ポンと出てくるのはおかしい。
Is there any precedent of this ever happening in any election?
こんなことは他の大統領選挙で起きたことがあるだろうか。
Then I remembered something though. There sort of is precedent of something. Let me take you guys on a trip down memory lane right now.
ちょっと思い出してみましょう。
I love my fellow Americans, but as a people, it seems like we have very short-term memories.
アメリカ人はみんな記憶が短期的しかなくなってるんじゃないか。
Let me paint you a little picture. So I'm sitting in my living room watching the Iowa caucus, watching the results come in,
僕
and
は
Bernie Sanders had won a decisive victory.
バーニー・サンダーズが勝ったのをお家の中でテレビ見ながら
Clearly,
見
I
た
can't stand Bernie Sanders, but
僕は嫌いなんだけ
it's not,
ど
they hate him not because his ideology is super different than theirs, but because he has a little 0.1% spark of independence and nonconformity, and that must be crushed in progressive utopia.
バーニー・サンダーズ自分は嫌いなんだけど彼はもう 0.01% の、自己主張があったから彼は嫌われたんだと。
And in the Iowa caucus, you have to hit at least 15% just to move on to the next state. He would have been done for. So what happened? Oh, there was an error, so they're going to stop counting. Sound familiar?
その時にも同じようなことが起きたんだ。
And tomorrow, I guarantee you, when they start counting again, Bernie Sanders will not be the winner anymore, and Joe
ス
Biden
ト
will
ップして
magically
でま
be
た
at
最終
15%.
形が始まった
What
時に
happened? Next day,
サンダー
Bernie
スが負
Sanders
け
no
た。
longer the winner. Joe Biden.
ジョー・バイデンが勝ったんだと。だから民主党の中の選挙の時にも今の選挙と同じようなことが起きていると。なんかどっかから票を見つけてきたんだと。どっから出てきたんだ。民主党はしょっちゅうデモクラシーとか言うんだけれどもおかしいだろうと。
And he must have some complex that he's just like, yes, give me more. Like they've screwed him more than none of us, you know, it's been a long quarantine. None of us have gotten screwed that well at Bernie Sanders' house. And just like, yes, more please. So, but it's so funny how, you know, for so long, Democrats and liberals and Bernie Sanders voters have been saying they rigged their primaries, but that doesn't tell them anything about their own party. And now suddenly, oh God, I don't know about you guys, the past week since the election, all these people I used to know and all former friends of mine, they're all freaking coming out of the woodwork now, bitching. They had nothing to say to me for years now because they only say anything when they're part of the herd. And now they have people behind them, they think. Maybe not for long. So anyway though, now suddenly it's a conspiracy theory to question what is visibly in front of your eyes, all of these questions that we have. That's funny though, because I'm old enough to remember when the idea that Iraq did not have weapons of mass destruction was a conspiracy theory. And the fact that Democrats rigged their own primary was a conspiracy theory. And hashtag Epstein didn't kill himself was a conspiracy theory. I hear. That's
自分たちに不都合なことは全部陰謀論として片付けられているのはおかしいでしょと。その例を今挙げています。エプスタインなんとかっていう人も自分で本当に死んだのかっていうのがハッシュタグでなりましたね。
That's exactly what this is. So every state stopped counting and they found votes at 4 a.m. and they were on zip drives and every vote was for Biden.
すべての州が10時にいきなり集計を止めて、その後に票が出てきて、で、バイデン氏が勝ったんだ。まあ、勝ったことにされていると。
Really? No one ever says that. They're always like, ooh. Oh, I love you guys. So yeah, I'm from New York. I've been here a couple days, and it's shocking to see every store boarded up. Every single store. Look around
僕はニューヨークから来たんだけど、すべてのお店がもう木でカバーされていて、もう本当にショックだった。
71 million of us pissed off in our lowest moment. And everything's fine and peaceful, but oh, it's Trump supporters you need to worry about.
みんなから愛されてますね、この方
I may
は。
not be any expert, but I will never understand. The results of this election were so
僕は専門家じゃないんだけど、でもこの今の結果っていうのは全く納得できない。
hard as it is to feel that way because we accomplished so many things. President Trump got the highest non-white vote of a Republican in 60 years.
トランプ大統領はこの60年間で一番白人じゃない人たちからたくさんの票を受けた人です。LGBT からもたくさんの票を獲得しました。僕はニューヨークから来ました。
We need to talk about Republicans in blue states in New York because they're fucking useless. They do nothing. But Trump did
ニューヨークで
11
リパブリカンは力にならない。
in New York in 2016. So you can call me a damn conspiracy theorist if you want.
僕は陰謀論家って言われてもいいんだけど、でもじゃあ目の前で起きていることの説明ができるのかよ。
I don't get it.
僕は納得できない。
Last night I was talking to somebody, this liberal I know, you know, she's one of the nice ones. She doesn't, she can't help it. But so she was asking me, she was like, okay, well now that Biden won, even though no state has certified him yet, I would like to be addressed, by the way, as President-elect Harlow right now. So she said to me, she was like, well, now moving forward, what do you want? How would you feel represented and included? And I thought about how to answer that because I wanted to give her a genuine answer. And I said, I was like, well, you know, there are policies I support, like being anti-war or for the Second Amendment or economic policies, but we are so beyond that. That has nothing to do with anything right now. We are literally in the throes of having communism in the United States of America right now. And that's another thing they call a conspiracy theory, but what is so insidious about this is that it is not communism in the way we typically think of it. They have gotten us, the government doesn't need to spy on us, they've gotten us to spy on each other.
今僕たちを支配しようとしている人たちは彼らが直接僕たちを支配する必要はない。だってもう市民同士の中で監視社会が出来上がってしまっているから。
People just taking over the streets with Antifa, it seems like we don't have laws anymore. And thinking,
アンティファを見るともう法律もなくなってしまって人々が投票のこれは投票の結果なんだと。
for Joe Biden for president, that means now they need to live with Joe Biden as their fucking president. So hopefully not, I hope not, you're right. Not yet.
He will never be in the White House.
That's the thing is, I don't know, maybe it's just me.
We didn't vote for him.
Maybe this was naive, but I really did have faith in the electoral process. And
僕
I
は
can't say
選
that
挙
I
シ
do
ステム
anymore,
に
regardless of the
信用
outcome
を置い
of
てたんだけど
So,
もう信用できなく
it's
なっ
hard
てしまっ
to
た。
know what to do, stand here on the stage and tell people, vote, run for office, do things, when it kind of feels like, what's the point? But like I said, that is why it is so crucial that every one of us do absolutely everything we can to fight against this bullshit.
獲得するためにもこの不正を許さないためにもできることは何でもやらなければいけない。
Last thing, but the thing that I was most worried about
一番心
if
配してい
Biden
るの
won
はもしバイ
wasn't
デン勝
even
った
the
ら
Democratic Party. I'm concerned about the Republican Party because
民主党
for
ではな
me,
くて
if
共和党の
this
こ
were
と
the
をむ
old
しろ
Republican Party,
心
I
配し
would
てい
never
る。
be a Republican.
もし昔の共和党がこれやってたら僕はこの共和党を応援しない。
that that old Republican Party is going to
昔の
try to
共和
be
党
taking its
は
claws back from the grave, and we need to make sure it stays dead.
昔の共和党とはもうさようならをしなければいけないと。
We are not going back to
我
being
々
the
保守は
part
昔
of
の保
George
守に
Bush,
はならないんだ。
John We are not going back to the Republican Party acting as a country club for a handful of elites.
エリートの集団みた
And
い
we
な
will
共和
not
党を自
support
分
a
たちは支
Republican
持しない
Party。that is not of the people and based in values of America first economic populism.
エリートとかそういうのを大事にするんじゃなくて、
So,
で
look around you
アメリ
guys
カを
right
一番
now.
最初に置く
You will
政党を応援
see
するんだ。
everything boarded up, everyone telling you, oh, real quick, sorry, I feel like I'm rambling really well, so I'll shut up. Like, last night my friend says to me, oh, we gotta go to this bar, they have strippers, but I think they're closed. And I don't like male strippers. Like, I don't need to see her swinging.
僕は女性のストリッパークラブ
So
は
anyway,
嫌
so
な
they
嫌な
tell
んだ
us,
けど、
oh,
まあ
it's
この
still
方もゲイ
open,
だから。
but you have to sit, you can't stand, and you can't speak to people from the... I'm like,
そんな
wait,
ところ
wait,
行っても
you can have male strippers
座らないといけ
sitting
ない
but not standing. What a smart virus. When you go to restaurants, you have to wear a
なんて
mask when you're standing
なん
but
て
not
賢い
sitting.
バ
What
イ
a
ラスなん
smart
だ。
virus. It knows you can get it here but not here.
そんなことしても意味ない
So
だろう
I
と。
think if we just push people to put some thought and common sense into these things, they'll realize that that makes no damn sense. So anyway, thank you guys so much for showing up.
まあコロナの対策のことも自分たちを支配するためのルールを作っていることに過ぎなくておかしいだろうと。I love you とみんな愛してるぞって言って。
Oh, give it up for Mikey Harlow. Wow.
マイキー・ホロー。この方の YouTube でもいっぱい活躍するので見てください。
So it's so funny how 2 a.m. everybody gets sent home to eat chili in their underwear and watch Netflix. But it's not a scam. It's not a scam. At any rate, I love that, Mikey. Absolutely. So, this next speaker, producer, conservative activist. She's all over the place on social media. I would like to introduce Ashley St. Clair.
アシリー・セインクレアさんです。
Hi, thank you. It's a very, very cold day in the swamp, so thank you guys for coming out. We're on what, day 200 and something of 15 days to slow the spread? But I love that nobody's wearing masks out here because quite honestly, I'm sick of that.
皆さんここでマスクしてないから最高だ。私もつけてないしね。
Indefinite lockdowns. But I love that all of you guys are out here and that you guys came here yesterday to stop the steal of our
不
election.
正を許さないということで昨日皆さん来てくれて嬉しい。
Even the Democrats deserve as a fair and balanced election. That's what we all deserve as America. How many of you believe that America is the best country in the world? Then can someone tell me why we are running an election like a banana republic?
何人の人たちがアメリカ一番グレートですか手を挙げてってさっき手を挙げてました。なのにグレートな国なのになんでそんな不正が起きてるのかと。
100,000 times and it landing on heads every single time. It doesn't happen.
そんなことは確率的にも起きない。コインを、100回ひっくり返して100回とも同じ向きで、着地するそれぐらいの、ありえない確率です。
Conservatism and being a Republican for a long time meant progressivism driving the speed limit. But no more because we're not going to tolerate it. We're going to say that we want law and order. We want a fair and balanced election.
自分たちは法律
Nationalism is not a dirty
を大事だ
word.
と思って不正は絶対許さんと。
I agree.
USA! 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 USA!
But if I can tell you guys one thing, it's keep the fight. You know, as Andrew Breitbart said, he said, walk towards the fire. He said, don't worry about what they say about you, because those things are said to stop you in your tracks, but when you don't stop,
言われる
it sends a
他
message
人
to
から言わ
everybody
れ
else
る
that
こ
they
と
can
を
do
気
it
にして
too.
はいけない。なぜならそれはあなたをストップさせようとするために言ってるだけに過ぎないから。
So thank you guys. While we may be the social media voices, it's possible because of you guys.
あなたたちのおかげで
So thank you. Keep the fight up. We can't get angry when they're tearing down statues of
彼ら
our
をストッ
founding
プすることが
fathers
できる。
when we're not willing yet risk a quarter of what they were to make this country. And now it's time to fight. And I'm tired. A lot of these politicians like Mitt Romney, they have no coconuts, they have no spine. And it's time to fight, and it's time for wartime conservatism and demanding all legal votes are counted and every single illegal vote is thrown out. Thank you guys.
Awesome. Give it up
不
for
正の
Ashley
票は全部ゴミに捨ててしまわなければなりませんと。
She's right. Do we want illegal votes or legal votes?
みんな
We're
合
not
法な
Sleepy
票
Joe fans. We're not Sleepy Joe fans. So at
合
any
法な
rate,
票が
this
欲しい
next
ですか？不合法
speaker,
の票が必
amazing,
要ですか？
amazing
みんな
woman. I
合
got
法
to
なも
know
の
her
だ。
in Dallas, and I got to see her fire and passion. Because you don't want to make this lady mad. And that's the way it goes when you're a mama bear. Because mama bears, I mean, you guys know, man. You mess with your little bear cub, it's over. Mother of three, accomplished author, accomplished activist, and amazing speaker. Give it up for Shamika Michelle.
この黒人女性もとっても面白い方ですよ。
If you would, just take one giant step back if you don't mind.
What's up, Americans? Thank you for coming out this morning, especially on a Sunday. So if the Democrats hadn't closed America, most of you would be in church. Or if you weren't out fighting for your country because they are thieves, you would be at home enjoying church. So since we have a panel full of patriots, I figured that I would take this time, since it's Sunday, to give us a little church break. Is that
日曜日の集会に行く時間な
okay?
の
So I
で、
want you to look at your neighbor and say, church break. I need you to say it loud. See, in the black church, when we tell you to look at your neighbor, that means the person that's standing right beside you, you look at them and you yell. So I want you to look at your neighbor and say, church break. Church break. We're getting ready to have a little church break right now.
今日は
Because what I'm seeing is a little lack of faith. I'm seeing people one moment say, stop the steal, and then the next moment, I don't know if we're going to win. I just don't know. So we're going to have a church break. Is that all right? And I'm coming from 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, starting at verse 9.
今聖書
The
の引
coming
用
of
し
the
ますと、
lawless one will be in accordance with the work of Satan, displayed in all kinds of counterfeit miracles, like getting more votes than Obama, signs and wonders, and in every sort of evil that deceives those who are perishing, like Antifa and Black Lives Matter.
今聖書を引用しながらこの悪魔の解説をアンティファや BLM になぞって説明しています。
So that they will believe the lie, like Biden won fair and square. In 15 it says, so then, brothers, stand firm and hold to the teaching we passed on to you, whether by word of mouth or by letter. So then, brothers, stand firm. So some of you may be saying, well, stand firm on what? I don't understand, Shamika, because did he win? Did he lose? I don't know. I just want this to come to an end. Stand firm on Luke 12 and 2. That says there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. So while the Democrats and Joe Biden are thinking that they got away with deceiving America, stand firm and know that there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known.
悪がですね、栄えるっていうことがおかしいというのを信じなさいと。そうすれば黒いものが光に、白皮のもとにさらされると。
When I was growing up, the senior choir used to sing a song, and they would say, if you had the faith the size of a mustard seed. And so I grew up thinking that all I had to have was this little bitty tiny amount of faith. And it didn't matter whether I weebled or wobbled. You know, it didn't matter if I was in or out. All I had to have was this tiny, small grain of faith. But let me help
少し
you.
の小さな信仰心でいいから、その信仰心があればいいんだと。
What it says is, as that of a grain of a mustard seed. So as. And some of you are saying, well, what does that mean? We're not talking about measure. We're not talking about size. When they say as, that means like. That means to the extent or the degree of. So you have to have the faith as a mustard seed, as a grain of a mustard seed. That means like. See, a mustard seed knows that it's a mustard seed. It doesn't think it's a watermelon seed or a tomato seed or a cucumber seed. It is full of faith that it is a mustard seed.
種の話をしていて、スイカの種とかキュウリの種とかそんなぐらいじゃなくて、マスタードの種粒ぐらいでいいから、それぐらいでもそれぐらいの小さなものでもいいから信仰心を持たなければいけない、信じる力を持たなければいけない、心強く耐えなければいけない。
Biden won this election, you have to say, there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. When they said, you know, he got 306 electoral votes, you have to say, there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be
も
known.
し聖奥が選挙の数字について嘘をついてきたら、この聖書の言葉で言いまかせましょうと。
You have to say, there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known. Stand firm. See, this isn't the time to be weak. This isn't the time to wobble. See, I understand that weebles wobble and they don't fall down, but the Bible said that a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Let not that man think that he shall receive anything from the Lord. Stand firm. When they say to me, well, what are you going to do now that the election is over and Trump has lost? What are you going to do now? I say there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not
どうしよう、
be
利
known.
用しようと周りがうろたえても強くみんなに大丈夫だと言いなさい。
Don't worry about my pockets. As the little girl said in the viral video a few years ago, worry about yourself. See, I want you all to be unmoved. I want you to be unshaken right now. And I know I'm black coffee, but I'm not going to be stirred. Stand firm.
強くあれという訳し方でいいですかね。Stand firm。stand 立つで firm はもう固くっていう意味だから強くあれ。揺るぐな、揺るぐなって感じかな。
Because they don't like a black woman who has escaped the Democrat Party. But just in case it does, let me go ahead and feel the anger now. See, they're already going to be mad because I used the Bible against them, and you know, they feel like they own religion. But let me make them more mad and more angry because they think they own Negro spirituals as well. So I want to say to them, I'm going to stand firm. You're going to stand firm. You know why? Because I got a feeling everything's going to be all right.
信仰支援の力で今の状況というのに立ち向かいましょうと。で、私は何でもなん来るないさみたいな、大丈夫だから全て、うまくいくというふうに私は感じている。大丈夫だ、大丈夫だ、大丈夫だ。
Give it up for Samika Michelle. I told you guys not to make a mess. I told you not to make a mess. She just took a fire hose out and just roasted all the demons. I mean Democrats. Excuse me. I misspoke. I hate when I do that. So this next speaker, amazing guy, amazing dude, activist. This guy's like a social media guru, such a stud. He was recently involved in the Nevada Stop the Steal, one of those contributors, and just an awesome, awesome guy, Michael Kudre.
マイコー・クードレって言ってたかな。
What's up, Washington, D.C.?
皆さん元気ですか？
It is amazing, amazing to see how many people showed up to stop the steal yesterday and today.
このたくさんの人が集まってるのを見て、もう素晴らしいと。
Wants to try to steal the election from a duly elected president. Are we going to let that happen?
大統領が勝ったのにそこから盗もうとしてる。それを許していいのか。
It started with the COVID excuses. And then it started with the DNC suing the Secretary of States for these swing key states. Make the signatures 40% match and it's going to be fine. Don't check the IDs. Show up and vote. It doesn't matter what happened. Every systematic thing that they could do to try to cheat the American people from their vote is what they did.
Yes.
But you know what I say? Ali Alexander, who organized the Stop the Steal rally nationally, he called all of us up, Scott Presser and all these other great influencers, they called us up and they said, we need to be in every single state and we need to do it in 24 hours. Can we do that?
Yes.
And boom. 24 hours later, thousands and thousands of patriots came in every single state, every state capital, and we made our voices heard. And then we put 1 million people in Washington, D.C. yesterday. If they think they're going to steal this election from us, they've got another thing coming. We don't go silently. Our president fought every day. Relentless attacks on this man's character. A godsend he was, by the way. The man saved this country. He
毎
came to save
日
this
アメリ
country.
カ国民のため
He
に
fought
戦
off
っ
the
てくれ
impeachment
ていると。
hoax. He fought off Russian hoax. He fought off the media slander. He even got COVID and got COVID in his ass.
ロシアにも勝ったし、メディアにも勝ってるし、COVID、コロナにも勝ってるんだと。
We don't go silently. Okay? We make our voices heard. We show up. If it's going to take 5 million people in the Capitol to make sure they don't steal this election, are we going to be there? Never go silently. Never give in to the left. They've got the media. Okay?
左に口を閉じてはいけない。サイレントになっちゃいけない。
All these radio stations, all these liberal outlets, we go out as good people in this country. We try to make our voices heard. We try to awaken the masses. The cultural shift is happening. The information switch is happening. People are more informed, more involved, more active than I have ever seen in my entire life. And that's not because of me. It's because of you. Because of you guys. So, I don't have too much to say, but I did want to mention one thing. Dominion? Dominion?
今ドミニオンの話をしてます。
Country on this earth. And we have the software from hell? 地球上で一番強い国が地獄からのソフトウェアを使っているのかと。今回だけじゃない、これまでずっと彼らは、不正をやってきたんだと。長い間これをやってきたんだ。2020年、今年は彼らが不正をしようと思うにはたくさんの人が目覚めすぎた。 And this fight is long from over. We showed up yesterday, national news. We absolutely crushed it, by the way, guys. And it's because of you. Because of you. I saw people driving in from Florida. I saw people driving in from all across the country.
もう全国から昨日はたくさん集まってきてた。もうクレイジーなくらいだった。
So the energy is real.
この力というのは本物だ。愛国者の力というのは本物だと。信仰心の強い国民の力は本当なんだと。これはただの政治的な運動じゃなくてスピリチュアルなものなんだと。悪と正義の戦いなんだと。自分たちの国を盗もうとしている人たちとの戦いなんだと。
Election fraud was so blatant. We need parlor.
パーラー、ツイッターがもう使えないからパーラーとみんな新しいアプリの、名前をコールしてます。
Pretty much every 72 million Americans, they basically said, your vote doesn't matter, we're stealing this from you. Everyone knows, right? So I said, you know, maybe we should change hashtag stop the steal to hashtag stop the coup. They really didn't like that. They really didn't like that. They're like, oh no, you're banned for 7 days for this crap. But it's true. I mean, if they fraud the votes in all the key swing states, right? They're robbing you of your vote. They're robbing you of your votes. They're robbing you from doing your duty as a patriotic American to put the man best suited for the position. So are we going to let Sleepy Joe get in there, or are we going to fight for President Trump? We're at the pivot moment, ladies and gentlemen. We are at the pivot moment. This is the most important election I think I have ever witnessed. We've got one chance and one opportunity to make this thing right. So if we need to fight every day at your state capitals, if we need to fight every day at the municipals where they're counting the votes, then that's what we're going to have to do. Okay, are you guys ready to fight for this? I love you guys so much. Thank you for coming out. And one thing also, can we get a round of applause for Brandon Schrock?
ブランドンさんに拍手をしましょうと。
So amazing. So anyway, that's all I have to say. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Give it up for Michael. Give it up for Michael Dudre. I love what he said about warriors. Because it's so important that right now, even after Donald Trump gets reelected, that we are warriors. So this next speaker, guys, amazing, amazing, powerful woman. She's a conservative activist, she's a political operative, and she's got an amazing, amazing site called Reagan Babe, Miss Megan Barth.
この方も保守活動家のお一人です。
Hi
メーガン
everybody.
さ
My
ん
name
で
is
す。
Megan Barth, and they refer to me as the Reagan Babe. My website is reaganbabe.com, as well
ウェブ
as
サ
all
イ
of
ト
my
を
handles. And I
され
go
て
way
ます。
back. Okay, I'm an old school activist. I put boots on the
私は
ground
ずっと
12
保
years
守運動を
ago
長
with
年し
Andrew
てきた。
Breitbart and the Tea Party movement. And I have to tell you is that this movement that's going on right now, pre-Trump and post-Trump, is exactly reminiscent of what happened in 2008, 2009, and when we kicked the Democrats' asses in 2010, up and down the ballot.
Yeah.
Okay? Politics is war.
Yes.
And there are many
政治は
battles in a war.
戦争な
You
んだ。
cannot tire. I've been doing this for 12 years.
おお、
and
12
I'm
年や
not
ってま
tired.
す。で、
And I'm
疲
not
れ
going
て
to
ない。
get tired.
で
Because in
やめることは
politics
し
too,
ない。
because it's war, you have to know the enemy.
戦争だから
And
敵
for
を知ら
far
ない
too
といけ
long,
ない。
Republicans were saying, oh, you know, my friend across the aisle. Yeah, I'm going to work with my friend across the aisle. Well, how do you shake someone's hand with your friend across the aisle when they're putting a knife in your back?
どうしてその敵と握手できるんだと、あなたの背中を
So
後ろから
I
刺そう
do
として
not
るの
mince
に。
words. Probably one thing I'm known for, whether I'm on the radio or wherever. Can we really believe a party did not steal an election when that same party is telling us that Antifa is a myth? Now, that myth just basically firebombed the Willard Hotel last night. That myth dragged women and elderly men off the street and cold-cocked an elderly man yesterday on Pennsylvania Avenue. Where is CNN?
アンティファがこのトランプ支持者の男性を襲ったのに CNN はなんで報道しないのかと。フォックスはどうしたんだと。
I will tell you what. My boyfriend, who is a Mexican American and a huge Trump supporter,
私のボ
was
ーイフ
watching
レンド
Fox
の
News
話を
last
しま
night
しょう
because
と。
he wanted to get the goods on what was going on here in Washington, D.C., because I live in Las Vegas.
その人はテレビをずっと見てましたと。何がワシントンで起きてるか知りたかったから。
1,000 people attended the
フ
march.
ォックスは1万人集まったと言いました。
1,000 people. I had
1,000 people。
at
1000
the
人。
Willard Hotel and in front of the Willard Hotel.
あまり1000人。
1.7 miles between Freedom Plaza and the
こんな
Supreme
に。
Court. That was the march. 1.7 miles. You could not fit an extra person on the street.
1.7 マイルもずっと更新していたのに、そんな少ない数字でレポートして許せんと怒ってます。
Back in 2008, 2000, taking over streets in every small town and big town and city across the country. Fox News and everybody else was saying the same thing. And just 1,000 people. Just 1,000 people. They've been lying to you for years.
Yep.
And even though Twitter and the technology giants tried to silence this rally by shutting down the Stop the Steal hashtag or the Million MAGA March, we still got 1 million people on the streets. So we know that the party who calls Antifa a myth stole an election. We know that the party who allows communists, Marxists, and socialists in their party stole an election. The Democrat Party is no longer the party, your grandfather's party, JFK, no. They let in and basically roll out the red carpet for socialists. Can someone please tell me what a democratic socialist is? What the hell is a democratic socialist? A myth. A myth. There is no difference between a socialist and a democratic socialist. No one's explained that difference.
That's right.
Why in the hell would you vote for somebody that refers to themselves as a Democrat socialist? Because that gives you what? One step closer to communism. And I am not going to split hairs on what the difference is between a
民主
democratic
的な社会主
socialist
義
and
な
a
んてありえるの
socialist
かっ
and
て
a
この
Marxist
語義
and
矛
a
盾を
communist because
今
they're all
説明してま
the
す。
same
でその次というのは
despotic
共
bunch.
産主義なんだっていう話をしてました。ちょっと今やらなきゃいけないことがあるのでちょっと、見続けててください。訳できる方がいたらタイピングしてみんなのためにやってくれたら助かります。
Wear your walk-away signs because the fight, the battle, the war is not over. I will stand with each and every one of you that will stand on the side of liberty. I will stand with each and every one of you that stands on the side of freedom. And I will stand with each and every one of you that wants to protect this republic. I thank you so much for showing up because that's half the battle. Now we have to take it back home to our streets and hold our elected politicians, if they were elected fairly, accountable. And we have to, I'm going to leave you with a quote from Reagan, because I'm Reagan, babe. The future does not belong to the faint-hearted, it belongs to the brave. We're all brave. Thank you.
All right, give it up for Megan. Give it up for her powerful stuff, because we don't want communism, we don't want socialism, but it's the same bottle of wax. Brandon has a real quick message here. Come on up, B-Money.
Hey everybody, very quick break, very quick disclaimer. Just want to remind everybody that the Walkaway Foundation is a 501c3 and we don't endorse any candidates.
今の方は代表のブランドンです。
Merely their own views and opinions and not necessarily those
で、
of the
僕たちは
Walkaway
中売り
Foundation.
で
Thank you
す。
very much. And to our audience watching on RSBN, first of all, thank you RSBN. Can we give it up to RSBN? I'm sure you guys all know, for anyone who doesn't know, RSBN travels around the country. They cover all the Trump rallies.
ライトサイドの保守的な放送局に本当にありがとうございますと、みんな感謝の声を上げてます。
And for the RSBN audience who may not know about us, check us out on walkawaycampaign.com. We're a movement that
この人
started in
宣伝うまいですね。
2018. People who
こ
are
の
walking
テレビ
away
に
from
向
the
かって
political left.
感謝をして自分たちの宣伝までしてます。
Of all
宣
different
伝
people
中。
who are on the left, especially black, brown, LGBT people, these minority communities who are being indoctrinated by the Democrat Party, and that's what we're doing. So you learn more about us at Walkaway Campaign. Follow us on social media, walkawaycampaign.com. Follow our social media, and please contribute to what we're doing because we're out there working hard all the time. Thank you, Courtney.
Thank you, B-Money. Appreciate that. So this next powerful woman has a show called Rose Unplugged. She's been on Fox News numerous times. She's guest hosted for Sean Hannity. She's guest hosted for Dennis Prager. She really needs no introduction, but her personality is just like her name. Miss Rose, come on up, young lady.
ローズさんがお話しさ
Hi,
れます。
everybody. Listen, first of all, Brandon Strzok, thank you for walking away. Look what you started. And you know what? Guess what? 244 years ago, there were a group of men who decided to walk away. They were our founding fathers. And they knew what it was like to live under tyrannical rule. They knew what it was like
200年前にアメリカを建国した人たちはウォークアウェイをしました。先制政治から。
That sounds very familiar right now, doesn't it?
その時と今私たちがやってることは同じじゃないでしょうか。
got together and listen, it took
勇気のある
courage
人
because
た
they
ちがみん
knew
な
when
集
they
ま
walked
って
away, they would be putting a target on their back.
Yes, they did.
Yes, they did. They knew they were sacrificing their lives, their sacred honor, and their fortunes. And yet they didn't. And the history books tell us that there was some
犠牲を
discussion
払っ
and
て
hesitation before
そ
they
して
signed that
建
Declaration of
国してくれた
Independence until John Witherspoon stood up and made a very passionate speech. And in it he said, there is a tide in the affairs of men. Do you perceive it not before you? To hesitate is to agree once again to be subjects to tyranny. Basically, is what you said, right? That's where we are right now. That is where we are right now. You must perceive it now before you. And if we hesitate, we are in so much trouble. And history tells us that after they signed that Declaration of Independence, those men got down on their knees, some of them, and prayed, and others wept openly. And they prayed because they understood that their liberties came from God and God alone.
自由は神から与えられたものだと。人からではなくて、神から与えられたものですと。
11 years later, in the same place that we now call Independence Hall, my state, Pennsylvania, where all eyes are right now. Right? The Keystone State.
キーストーンのペンシルバニアに注目しています。
Some of the same men are meeting again in that place, and they are drafting the most radical document of all time. They are putting together our Constitution. Amazing. And they were there for months doing this. Imagine the people walking around outside and wondering, what is our future going to be? What are they deciding behind those closed doors? We need to know. And ladies, let me tell you something. On the final day of deliberation, when they came out, a woman, of course it was a woman, right? Because we are concerned. We want to know what the future is for our children and their children. So the woman stops Benjamin Franklin and says, well, doctor, what have we got? A monarchy or a republic? And he said, a republic, if you can keep it. Ladies and gentlemen, I would say to you that we are in probably the most important battle of our lifetime. Save the Revolutionary War, and yet it is a battle for the exact same thing. It is a battle for liberty. It is a battle for future generations, just like those men who knew that they would never fully appreciate the fruits of their labor, who knew they would never fully live in complete freedom. But they sacrificed all of those things so that generations of people would be free. People they would never know, names they would never call out, and faces they would never see. They did it for all of us right here.
Freedom!
And so I say to you, can we not make those same sacrifices for future generations?
ちょっと今聞いてなかったんですけど、皆さん一緒に自己犠牲を払って将来のために成し遂げましょうと。
But we must fight with everything that is in us because we do it for
我々
names
は
we will never
戦い
see,
続け
for
なければい
faces
け
we
な
will
い。
never see, for generations of people that we want to live as free as we did.
私たちと同じように未来の子孫にも同じ自由を残しましょう。
USA! 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 Awesome. Man, Rose almost had me in tears. Powerful stuff. Well, the next speaker, like many that have been up here today, really needs no introduction because he filled the streets of this entire city yesterday with his movement and what he does, and he's just an amazing human being, such a stud. Had an awesome tasting with him last night too. That's a cigar, by the way. Mr. Ali Alexander, come on up, stud.
Well, it's not my movement, it's our movement.
僕の運動じゃなくて我々の運動だ。
All right.
誰の道だ。
I'm not really a
僕たち
speaker,
の
I'm an
道だ。
organizer, and I got recruited into running Stop the Steal 2020 because of our success in 2018 when we saved Rick Scott's seat in Florida. We kept DeSantis out of the runoff, and we caught their plan of what they were going to do in 2020. Who here was in Broward County? We got a couple people who were, okay. So, I'm kind of, I'm an organizer, so I'm not going to do some rah-rahs. I want to tell you guys some stories that the media is not going to tell you. a couple of us, Megan and I, we had a friend named Andrew Breitbart. Anybody familiar with him? And if I wasn't here right now, I'm sure that Andrew would be here right now. And he used to do this thing, and sometimes we do it in commemoration of him. Raise up your phone. Raise up your phone. All right. I dub you journalist, and we want to be your editors. We are the media. Let me hear you.
皆さん携帯持ってますか？僕たちがメディアですと。僕たちが、世界に知らされるんだと。
It's not even really about Trump. It's about protecting our freedoms.
バイデン氏やトランプ氏の問題ではなくて、自分たちが自由を守るというのが大事なん
To
だ。
lock us down. So I've told all of our organizers, do not get permits. We're not doing that anymore. We're going to peacefully assemble, and if they punch us, we're going to punch back.
パンチされたらパンチし返すんだ
Self-defense
と。
is a right. The right to
正
peacefully
当
assemble is a
防
right.
衛、
To petition our government is a right.
平和的な集会を
Stop
す
the
る
steal is not going to be
権利。
just about 2020. We're going to go into 2022, and any Republican that doesn't stand with Trump is out.
共和党でトランプ大統領の味方をしないやつはもう終わりだ。
And I'm talking to Ron McDaniel. Will fly with us at the forefront, or it will sink and we will kill it. 2022 is going to be the battle for the Republic after we're done with this. So let me tell you guys a quick story.
昔の保
because I
守
love these
系
backstories,
の
these
この
process
政治
stories,
という
what they
のを
call it
皆
in
さ
the
ん
media.
に納得していなくて、それを非難する話というのが多いです。
There's a lot of sadness. I don't want to say despair because that's a sin. But there was a lot of sadness, and a lot of us were talking with one another. And I woke up with a text message from Scott Pressler. We
スカッ
love
ト・プレス
Scott.
ラーからメッセージが来て僕は起きたんだと。
You know, the
It's
guy
okay.
who Ron and McDaniel should have hired to run national voter registration. That guy? Donate to him. And I decided that I wasn't going to respond because he said, you know, I've got airline miles, I've got the people, I need some direction. And I ignored that, and I went to
でもそれにすぐ
I don't
答え
wanna
な
do
か
it.
ったと。
I went to brunch with a couple of guys that I mentor. And I told them, they said, hey, are you going to run Stop the Steal? And I said, no, I'm not. This is the party's job. They've raised hundreds of millions of dollars to do this. And they said, well,
不
are
正選
people
挙
in
を
the
訴え
street
る
really
活動
that
しますかっ
important?
て聞か
I
れ
said,
て、
yes.
で僕はやるつもりないよって言ったんだ。こ
For
れは
Trump's
政党がやるべき仕事だから。
And we did that. How many people were at their state capitals last week? So Megan and I were there at the birth of the Tea Party movement. We were some of the original co-founders. And you have to understand, we had Fox News' help 2 weeks before April 15th. And so that boosted it to where we got 1.8 million people out in 81 cities. This time we didn't have Fox News. We didn't have National Review. Thank God for OANN, RFN, Newsmax,
ニュースマックスやエポックタイムスやそういったところがブライトバードが僕たち
But we
を
didn't even have
支
time
持
to
して
let
く
them
れ
know
る
what we were planning. These guys were out there sweating and dying, and some on their own dime, and some on the donations that you guys sent to StopTheSteal.us. But we put 30,250 people out in 50 states through word of mouth. Y'all are saving the Republic. Stop the steal! 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 Stop the steal!
ちょっと人数を聞き漏らしちゃったんですが、全国で昨日相当な数の国民が全国中でこの運動をやった。
You know, if I'm going to play secretary, I know it's Sunday, but I'm going to cuss, so get ready. If I'm going to play secretary, bitch, then I want these guys to be cooperative. And they were. And I didn't have a relationship with Brandon Schrock before this. In fact, I didn't really like him because he was too similar to me. And in our group chat, he said, send me where you want. And he volunteered. We didn't ask him. He volunteered. And I said, well, Brandon, again, because he's too much like me, I thought, well, let me play to his ego.
We're strongest in Pennsylvania, Brandon. We're strongest in Arizona. And he said, where are we weakest? I said, we're weakest in Michigan. We got